That's an F flat. Oh, D flat. E flat, D flat. Sorry, E flat, D flat, B flat. That's a fucking lot of flats. It's good. It's good.
Oh no.
Where do you want this? Here. All right.
Sort of like this. Then you're right.
Well, yeah,
Go. Hey.
Welcome to the RIT's Players production of What to Do About Nothing.
That's all?
Yeah, that's
Well,
it.
it's great.
I don't know what else to say.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
2 lines in the whole thing.
You have lots of lines. You have more lines than I do.
Yes, I do.
She's a star.
I have the intermission line. I can stand on the trunk.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Woo. Okay, here with your audience.
See,
Hi.
now you can get our tech director.
Hi. Where are you?
Oh, you were?
Nice last one. I said, okay, Laura, hang up.
I see the sofa. Any program. Anyways. Now, some of you seen the script before. We're filling up fast, but try and find a seat anywhere. If you can, sit up front, because there's action that goes on the floor. It's easier to see.
Okay, thank you.
Already got one. Oh, yeah, I'll go. That's for you. And a good soldier, too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a kind of merry war betwixt Senior Benedict and her. If they never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with one. So that he hath wit enough to keep himself warm, let him trade for a difference between himself and his horse. For it is all that he hath left to be known, reasonable creature. But I pray you, who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his favorite like the fashion of his cap. It ever changes for the next alarm.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not with your books.
No, if he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion now? Is there no young squire that would make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, good Lord! He will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence. The taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio if he has caught the Benedict. It will cost him £1,000 ere be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Too good friend.
You will never run that, niece.
Oh no, not till a hot January.
The Negro is approached.
Good Signor Leonato, are you come to me to a trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid costing you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace, for trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes its leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Oh, Senior Benedict, no, for then were you a child.
Oh, you have it full, Benedict. You may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father. If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all the scene, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear lady Disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible the saint should die when she had such weak food defeated as Signor Benedict? Why, even courtesy must turn to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat? For it is certain that I am love of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find it in my heart that I have not a hard heart. For truly, I love none.
A dear happiness to women, or else they would have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I'm of your humor for that. I would rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall stay for pre-tested and scratched face.
Scratchy could not make it worse than swear at such a face as yours.
Well, you are a rare parent teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse have the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuation. But keep thy way, in God's name, I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio and Signor Benedict. My dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him that we shall stay here at the least a month, and he hardly prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please at your grace, Leonato.
Go ahead, Leonato, we will go together.
Benedict, hast thou noted the daughter of Signor Leonato?
Well, I noted her not, but I looked on her. Is she not a modest young lady? Do you question me as an honest man should do for my true simple judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
I faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation can I afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. But
But being no other as she is, I do not like her. Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her. Would you buy her that you inquire after her? Can the world buy such a jewel? Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow? Or do you play the plowing jack to tell us Cupid is a rare hair finder and Vulcan a good carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go into the song? Mine eyes, she's the sweetest lady that ever I looked upon. I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such man. There's her cousin. She were now possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last in December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you? I would scarce trust myself, but I had sworn to the contrary if Hero would be my wife. Has it come to this? Hath the world one man but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Well, go to Ethan, and thrust thy will needs into a yoke. Wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro's returned to seek you.
What secret that held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Blanio? I can be secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so, but on my allegiance. Mark you this, on my allegiance. He is in love. With who? Now that is what Grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter. If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen if you love her, for she's very well worthy.
Speak this to fetch me and my lord.
Why, my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine. And by my two-face and troth, my lord, I spoke mine. That I love her, I feel.
That she's worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion fire cannot out. I would die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will. That a woman conceived, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I should have her a giant, winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for which I may know the fine, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove ever I lose more blood with love than I can't get again with drinking. Pluck out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen and hang me on the door of a brothel house as a sign for blind Cupid.
Well, if thou ever dost fall from this fate, thou shalt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me. And he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try. In time, the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may. But if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck out the bull's horns and set them in my hair, and let me be vilely painted in such great letters as they write. Here is good horse to hire, and let it signify underneath my sign. Here you may see Benedict, the married man. If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horned man.
Nay, if Cupid had not spent all of his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I wait for an earthquake too then.
Oh, well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair unto Leonato's, commend me unto him, and tell him I will not fail him for supper. For indeed he hath made a great reparation.
I have almost matter nothing for such an embassage, and so I commit to the tuition of God, from my house if I had it,
To the 6th of July,
your loving friend, Benedict. Nay, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded, and the guards are but slightly basted on either. Ere you flout out old ends any further, examine your conscience, and so I leave you. My liege, your highness now may do me good.
my love is thine to teach. Teacheth but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson to me do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son?
No child but Hero, she's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked on her with a soldier's eye that liked, but had a harsher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that worn thoughts have left their places vacant, in their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to war.
She will be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, And I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly do you minister to love that no loves grief by his complexion. But lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with long entreaties.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look, what will serve as fit? 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with a remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero I am Claudia. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with a forced and strong encounter of my amorous tale. And then with her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Now, brother, where is my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
He is very busy about it, but brother, I can tell you strange news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
As the events stamp them, but they cover well, they show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio, while walking in a thick pleached alley in my orchard, were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance, and if he found her to be accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you up.
Had the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No, but we will hold this as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer if her adventures this be true. Go you now and tell her of it. Oh, good cousin, you know what you have to do. I cry you mercy, friend. Go you with me, and I will use your skill. Oh, good cousin, have a care this busy time.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore the sadness is without limit.
Oh, you should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a mortal medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jest. Eat when I have stomach and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry and call no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of it, and you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his graces, or it is impossible you should take the true route by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful to frame the season for your own harvest.
I'd rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. It better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. I have been fashioned with a muzzle and enfranchised with a claw. Therefore I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would fight. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? Here. What news, poor Archino?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonata, and I can give intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Marriott is your brother's right hand.
The most exquisite Claudio.
Even he.
Proper squire. And who? Which way looks he?
Married one Hera, the daughter and heir of Leonata.
A very forward much chick. How came he to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking in the musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio hand in hand in sad conference. I put me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudia.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Come, let us to the banquet. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were on my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I depart for him an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
You were an excellent man. You're made just in the midway between him and Benedict. One is too much like an image and says nothing. The other too much like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
Oh, then have Senior Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and have Count John's melancholy in Senior Benedict's
With a
face.
good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man could get any woman in the world if he could get her goodwill.
I might troth thee, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thy be so shrewd of thy tongue. And babe, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way. For it is said, God sends a cursed cow to reform, but to a cow too cursed he sends not.
So by being too cursed, God sends you no morals.
Just if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and every evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I would rather lie of a woman.
You may lay upon a husband that hath no beard.
And what should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than he, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me. And he that is less than a man, I am not for him.
Well, please, sir. I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, faith, it is my cousin's duty to make courtesy and say, Father, as it please you. But for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another courtesy and say, Father, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a piece of valiant dust? To make it account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, I'll not. Adam's sons are my brethren, and I truly hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I've told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
Won't be in the music, cousin, if you be not for a good time. For if the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer.
Cousin, you apprehend passing
I
shrewdly.
have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
Revelers are entering, mother. Make good room. Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly, and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company,
I may say so when I please,
and when please you to say so.
when I like your favor. For God defend the loot should be like the case.
My visor is still on his roof. Within the house is Job.
Why then? Your visor should be thatched.
Speak low if you speak low.
I would that you did like me.
So would not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one.
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. May they hear us crying mad.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him from my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words spoken. The clerk is answered.
I know you well enough. You say you're Antonio.
At a word, I am not.
I know you by the wagging of your head.
To tell you the truth, I counterfeit him.
You can never do him such ill will unless you're the very man himself. Here's his dry hands up and down. You are he, you are he.
At a word, I am not.
Do you think I not know your excellent wits? Can you virtue hide itself? Go to, huh? Angels will appear as an end. Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful and had my good wit out of 100 merry tales. Well, it was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he's the prince's jester, and a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and then the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy, for he both pleases men and angers them, and they laugh at him and beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure, neither marked nor laughed at. Strikes him into melancholy, and then there's a partridge wing saved for the fool he
seeking your benefit.
You know me well. I am he.
Sir, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in this.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict. Hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so the prince was for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof that I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero. Count Claudio! Yea, the same. Come, will you go with me? Whither? Even to the next willow tree. About your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland up? About your neck like an usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero. I wish him joy of her. Well, that's spoken like an honest drovier, so self-full. But did you think the prince would have served him thus? I pray you leave me. No! You strike like the blind man. Was the boy that beat your mean, you beat the post. It will not be, I'll leave you. Alas, poor hurt bow. Now will be creep into said. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince's fool. Ha! It may be I go under that title because I am married. Yea, so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world in her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may. Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him? Drove, my lord. I played the part of Lady Faye. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady, and I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped. To be whipped? What's his fault? Why, the flat transgression of a schoolboy, who being overjoyed with finding his bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a trust to transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
And it had not gone amiss, the rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I dig it, hath stolen his bird's nest.
All I do but teach them to sing, and then return them to their owner.
Ah, if their singing answered your saying, my lord, you speak honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel with you.
Ha!
A gentleman that danced with her said that she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. I know, but with one green leaf on it would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking that I had been myself, that I was the prince's fool, that I was duller than a great thought. Huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance, I stood like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poignards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as bad as her terminations, there'd be no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she possessed everything that Adam had before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules of turn spit, yea, and have left the club to make the fire, too. Oh, come, talk not of her. You will find her the infernal 8 in good apparel. I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for while she is near, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary. And people sin upon purpose because they could go thither. So all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Oh! Will your grace command me any service till the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes if your grace can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia. Get you the length of Prester John's foot. Fetch you a hair off the great Sham's beard. Do you any emphasize to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words common with his heartbeat? You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir! Here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure thy lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost
me with false dice. And for your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as an orange, and something of Angella's complexion.
Lady Faith, lady, I think you're blazing to be true. Though I'll be sworn if he be so, his conceit is false. Dear Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage. God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is but the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, so I am yours. I give myself away for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let him not speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it. Poor fool, it keeps me on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord for alliance. And so goes all the world, everyone to the world but I. And I am sunburned. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey ho, for a husband.
Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, lest I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace pardon me, for I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Well, your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
No, truly, my mother cried. But then there was a star dance, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things that I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
Oh, there's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever then. For I have heard my daughter say that she hath often dreamt of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time go on crutches till love have all his rights. Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence just 7 nights in time, too brief to have all things answer my mind.
You shake the head at so long a breathing. But I warn thee, Claudio, time shall not go idly by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labors, which will be to bring Signor Benedict and Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it match, and doubt not what to fashion if you three but minister such assistance as I give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights watching. And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far, I can praise him. He is of a noble strain, of confirmed honesty, and approved valor. I will teach you how to humor your cousin so that you will fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict, so that he, and despite his quick wit and his queasy stomach, will fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. We are the true love gods. His glory shall be ours. Go in with me, and I'll tell you of my drift.
So, Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him. Whatsoever comes to fall his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to heroes.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out for ladies' chamber window.
What life is there in that with the date of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he has wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you might hold up, to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and to kill Leonato. Look you for any other issues?
And if it is despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go then, find me a meet-out to draw Don Pedro and Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio, as the love of your brother's honor who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cousin with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They shall scarcely believe it without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at the chamber window, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Give this to what Atlas issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning into working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, my lord, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go down that day of marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the pipe, and now he'd rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles upward to see a good army, and now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and honest, like an honest man and a soldier, and now is he turning orthogonal. His words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it, till he hath made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another is virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich shall she be, that sir. Wise, or I'll not. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Smile, or come not near me. Fair, or I'll never look on her. No, or not I, or an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be whatever color it pleases. The prince and Monsieur Love, I will hide me in the army.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord, how still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See where Benedict had hid himself?
Very well, my lord. Music ended will fit the Kid Fox of the Pennyworth.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, my lord, tax not so bad a voice to stand of music any more than once.
Oh, is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face on his own perfection? I pray thee sing, and let me woo no more.
Because you talk of wooing, I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence his suit to her he thinks not worthy, yet he woos, yet will he swear he loves.
Nay, pray thee, come, for if thou wilt hold longer arguments, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's worth the note.
Why, these are very crotchets that he speaks. Notes, note, forsooth, and noting. Now the mine air, now is his soul ravished. Is it not strange that sheep guts should hail souls out of men's bodies?
Well, a horn for my money when all's done.
Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. Melody sing as ever. One foot in sea and one ashore. To one thing constant never. And sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blind and bonny, converting all your songs of woe into pain. Sing no more ditty, sing no more of dumb, so dull and heavy. The fraud of man was ever so, since summer first was levied. And sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blind and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey noddy noddy, hey noddy noddy.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
Ah, no, faith, thou sings well enough for a ship.
If he had been a dog that would have held us, they should have hanged him. I pray God his bad voice bode no mischief. I have his leave with her the night ravens sing, come what plague could come after it.
And sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blind and bonny, converting all your songs of woe into hey noddy noddy,
Hey,
hey noddy noddy.
Dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee, it is some excellent music for tomorrow night. We would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so, farewell. Come hither, Leonard. What was it you told me of today, that your niece, Beatrice, was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, aye! Stuck on, foul six. I did never think that lady would have loved any man. Oh, no, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Senior Benedict, whom she had in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor. Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner? By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it. But she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough. Oh, God, counterfeit? There was never counterfeit of passion, came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord?
Well, she will sit you. You've heard my daughter tell you how. She did indeed.
How, I pray you? You amaze me! I would have thought her spirit be invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict. I would think this had gone with the white-bearded fellow's face. David cannot sure hide himself in such reverence. He hath taken the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affections known to Benedict?
No, and swear she never will. That's her torment. 'Tis certain so. So says your daughter. Shall I, says she, that have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him? This says she now when she's beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there she will sit in her smock. Oh! She have read a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all. You speak of a piece of paper. I remember pretty jest your daughter told us of. That that when she had written and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets. Oh, well, she tore that note to 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest as to write to one whom she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should float him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should. And then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give thee She doth indeed. My daughter says so. In fact, the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometime feared she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that he knew of it from some other. She will not discover it.
To what end? He would but make a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, it were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceedingly wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my Lord. Wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body. We have 10 proofs to one that blood hath the victory. And I am sorry for her, as I have just cause, being her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all the respects and made her half myself. I pray thee, tell Benedict of this and see what he will say.
Oh, word good, thank you. Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he love her not. And she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crosses.
And she should. Should she make tender of her love, 'tis very possible the man will scorn it. For the man, as you well know, hath a contemptible spirit.
It's very proper, a man.
He hath indeed some good outward happiness.
Before God and in my mind, very wise.
He does show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you, in the managing of quarrels, you may say he is wise, for he either avoids them with a great discretion or undertakes them with the most Christian-like fear.
Ah, but do fear God and must necessarily keep peace. If he break peace, he ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And he should, for the man doth fear God, howsoever it may seem not in him by some jests he will make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go find Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel. Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear more of it from your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I wish he would modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is of so fine a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready. I don't have her upon this. I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and this must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. The sport will be when one holds an opinion of another's dotage and no such matter. That's the scene that I would see, which will merely be a dumb show. Let's get her and have him call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly mourned. They have the truth of this from here. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Oh, why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censored. They say that I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than show any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not say proud. Happier they upon hearing the detractions can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis true, I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it. And wise. Yea, but for loving me it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument to her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. Now I may chance of some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed against marriage for so long. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves to meet his youth he cannot endure in his age. Shall I let these sentences and quips and paper bullets of the brain, oh man, out of the career of his humor? No. The world must be people. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I would live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank thee for thy favor.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
Take pleasure then in the message?
Yea, so much as you may take upon a knife's point, and choke a dog of all. No stomach, senor? Very well.
Against my will, I bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. Why, that's as much as to say that any pains I take are as easy as thanks. Aw, if I do not take pity on her, I'm a villain. If I don't love her, I'm a heathen. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the Prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the pleated bower, where honeysuckles ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter. There will she hide her to listen our propose. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it and leave us alone.
I will make her come, I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter, as little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close to the ground to hear our conference.
'Tis a pleasant ambling to see the bitch come with the golden oar, the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So when we for Beatrice, who even now is couched in woodbine coverture, fear you not my heart's dialogue.
Then go ye near her. Let her ear lose nothing of this false sweet faith that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you so sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection and never to let Beatrice know of it.
But why did you so? Doth not the gentle quarter.
If it proves so, then loving goes by half. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on, I will requite thee, taming my wild heart as thy loving hand. For if thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind thy loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it, better than reportingly.
I do but stay until your marriage be consummate, and then go on towards Aragorn.
Oh, bring me thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, there would be as great a soil on the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedict for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He has twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot him.
He hath a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue is the clapper. For what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I, methinks you are sadder. I hope ye be in love.
Thank you, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have a toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it. You must hang it first and draw it afterward.
What side of the toothache? Where is but a humor or a worm?
Well, everyone cannot master a grief, but he that has it. Yet say I, he is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him. As of the appearance he hath to some strange disguises. As to be a Dutchman today or a Frenchman tomorrow, or in the shape of two countries at once. As a German from the waist downward, all sluts, or a Spaniard from the hip upward, no doublet. If he have a fancy to his foolery, as it would appear he hath, he is no fool for fancy, as it would appear he is.
If he be not loved so moment, there's no believing old signs. A brush is his hat o' mornings, what should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber?
Nay, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek hath already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by the loss of a beard.
Nay,
He rubs himself with civet. Can you spell him out by that?
that's as much as to say the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when does he want to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, of which I would hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is crept into a lute string and governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, conclude. He is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That what I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, in his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache? Oh, Signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For the life of me to break with him about Beatrice.
Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
Come on, brother, come safely.
Good death, brother.
If your liege is served, I will speak with you.
In private.
If it please you. If Count Claudio may hear, for what I will speak of concerns him as well.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that, but he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray to discover it.
You may think I love you not. And let it appear hereafter and aim better at me by that I now would manifest. For my brother, I think he hopes you well, if indeed as apart, have hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent, labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances show, for she has been too long talking of, the lady is disloyal.
Who, hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out the wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I would fit her to it. Wonder not till further walk. Go it with me tonight, and you shall see her chamber window enter, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow, wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I
will not hear of it. If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. You will go with me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more, and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see any reason tonight why I should not marry her tomorrow, why, in the congregation where I should wed, there will I shave her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will dispel return no farther to view are my witnesses. Very coldly, but till midnight. Let the issue show itself.
Oh, day untowardly turned.
Oh, mischief strangely thwarting.
No plague right well prevented. So will you say when you have seen the sequel.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a 10-minute intermission.
I may take already a session.
No, no, no. You have to say it. Have hands.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were a pity, but the vision suffer salvation in their bodies and souls.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them if they have any allegiance in the being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, never doubt bearing.
First, who thinks thou the most desertless man to be constable?
You, O king, sir, or George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune. But to write and read comes by nature.
Hold on, which master
You have. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why, give God thanks and make no boast of it. For your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the letter. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all bankrupt men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
I'll give him up.
Why then take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a name.
If you will not stand when he is bidden, well, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. Well, you are to call all the alehouses, bid those that are drunk, get them to bed.
I'll do enough.
Well, then let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not then the better answer, you may say, they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. For such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, the more is for your honesty.
But if you don't be a thief, should we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think naked touch pitch would be defiant. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is, and steal out of your company.
I have always said you were a merciful man.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him.
If you should hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
But how if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us? Why then depart in peace and let the child wake her with crying. For the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it bays will never answer a calf when he bleats.
It's very true.
This is the end of your charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may say,
Nay, my lord lady, I think that they cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it with any man that knows the statutes. He may stay. Marry not without the prince be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
I think it's so.
Oh, well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call on me. Give you fellows counsels and your own, and good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here on the church council too, and then all to bed.
Oh.
answer for that. Now onward with thy tale.
Stand thee close then under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason master should stand close.
Therefore know that I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
Thou showest thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet, or a hat, or a cloak, is nothing to a man.
Yes, it's the apparel.
I mean the fashion.
The fashion's the fashion.
I may as well say the fool is the fool. But seest thou not what deformed this fashion is?
I know that form. He has been a vile thief this 7 years. He goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, it was the bane on the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily it turns about of the hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30, sometimes fashioning them like Pharaoh's soldiers in the Ricci painting, sometimes like God sells priests in the old church window, sometimes like the shaved Hercules in the smirched wormy tapestry where his codpiece seems as nasty as his club.
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art thou not thyself giddy with this fashion too, that thou hast shifted out of thy tale into telling me of the fashion?
Not so neither, but know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero, by the name of Hero. She leads me out her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale violently. I should first tell thee how the Prince, Claudio, and Don John, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they that Margaret was Hero.
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio. But the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oath which first possessed them, partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy which did confirm any slander Don John had made, away went Claudio enraged, swore he would meet her as he was appointed, next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw her night, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name. Stand! Follow the right master Cosmo. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that is ever known in the Commonwealth. And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock.
Masters,
You will be made to bring the form before thy lord.
Masters, you have...
Never speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
You're like to prove a goodly commodity, being taken up of these man's bills.
Not the commodity in question, I'll warrant you. Oh, I will obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Well,
Oh, I think your other ruata were better. No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this. My troth, it's not so good, and I warrant your cousin would say so. My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this. I like the new tire with an excellently if the hair were a thought browner. Your gown's the most rare fashion in thee.
I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say. That gown respects yours. Cloth of gold and cut
laid to your heart is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prick'st her with a thistle.
Benedictus, you have some moral in this Benedictus? Moral? Why, my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain, holy thistle. You may think that you are in love. Nay, by your lady, you are not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor I cannot think if I were to think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedict, such a lover, and now he has become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. How you may be converted, I know not. Methinks you look with your eyes as other women do. What pace is it thy tongue keeps? Not a false gallop. Madam, withdraw! The count of the prince and all the gallants of the town should fetch your choice.
Help me to dress, good cause, good make, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest gentleman? Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
I pray you, for you see it as a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Virgie, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as God help I would desire they were. But in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I'm as honest as any man yet living who's an old man and no honest with an eye.
Comparisons are odorous. Palabras, neighbor Virgie.
Neighbors, or tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. But truly, for my own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all on your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, huh?
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 pounds more than 'tis. For indeed I hear as good exclamation on your worship as any man in the city. And though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear
And
it.
so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Mary, sir, our watch night, except for the worship's presence, hath taken a couple of as errant knaves as any of Messina.
A good old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said, in faith, neighbor Virgies. Well, God's a good man, and two men ride a horse, one must ride behind. An honest soul of faith, sir, by my troth he is, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped, all men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
Wait, sir! Our watch hath indeed comprehended two auspicious persons, and would have them this morning examined before your worship.
You take their examination yourself and bring it to me. I am now in great haste as it may appear unto you.
It shall be subject.
Drink some wine, there you go. There you
Go,
go.
good neighbor, get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination these men.
We must do it wisely.
We shall spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive some of them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me in the jail.
brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
Come you hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No. To be married to her, friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to. Miss Count,
I do.
if either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I bid you, on your souls, to utter it. Know you any hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, Count? I dare make his answer. None. Oh, what men dare do. What men may do. What men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now? Interjection?
Standing by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maiden daughter? As freely, son, as God did give her me? And what am I to give you back whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness.
There, Leonardo! Take her back again! Give not this rotten orange to your friend.
She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal! Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you will say. If I have known her, you will say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonardo, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out of these seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown. You are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, of the pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide?
Prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to this common state.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
They are spoken, sir, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True!
Leonardo, stand I here. Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face heroes? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, my lord, but what of this?
Let me but move one question to your daughter. By that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly. I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me! How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Mary, that can hero. Hero itself can blot out hero's virtue. What man was in talk with you yesternight, out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then you are no maid! Leonardo, I am sorry you must hear, but upon my honor, myself, my brother, and his grieved count did see her, hear her at that hour last night by her chamber window, speak with a ruffian, who, like a most liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret!
Fine, fine. These things are not to be named, not to be spoke of. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero, good hero hadst thou been, have thy own grace and place her on thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. Fare thee well, most foul, most fair, farewell. Pure in piety and pious purity, for thee I'll lock up all the gates of love. On my island shall conjecture hang, turn all beauty into thoughts of harm. Never shall it more be gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
How now, present hero, where will sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother the spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead
she here deny the story that's printed in her blood? Do not live, hero, do not ope thine eyes. For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die? Thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shamed myself would on the rewards of reproaches strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Chid I for that to frugal nature's frame? Oh, one too much by thee, hero! Why had I won? Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes? Why had I not with charitable hand took up a beggar's issue at my gate, whose merchant thus admired with infamy I might have said no part of this is mine. This shame derives itself from unknown loins. But mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on, mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine valuing of her. Why she, oh, she has fallen into a pit of ink, and the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little that may season give to her foul-tainted flesh. Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Upon my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night I had this 12-month bed her bedfellow.
Confirmed, oh, that is stronger vein, which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Will the two princes lie and Claudio lie, who loved her so that speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die!
Hear me a little, for I have only been silent so long and given way unto this course of fortune by noting of the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions as started to her face, 1,000 innocent shames and angel whiteness beat away those blushes, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the arrows that these princes hold. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading nor my observation, with which experimental zeal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, calling, reverence, nor divinity. If this sweet lady lie not guiltless here, under some biting arrow.
Crier, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she has left as a jewel not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekst thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Say, what man is you accused of?
I know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Father, prove you that any man with me conversed in hours unmet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
Two of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdom's mean this led to this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frames of villains. He know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her! If they do wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so tried this blood of mine, nor age hateth my invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor my bed, like wrecked me so much of friends. But they shall find await in such a kind, both strength of love and policy of mine, ability and means and choice of friends, to quit me of them thoroughly!
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the prince has left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this well carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. But not of that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater burden. She died, as it must be so maintained, upon the very instant she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hero. For it so falls out that what we have we prize not to the worth whilst we enjoy it. But, having lacked and lost, why then we rack the value? Then we find the virtue that possession would not show us whilst it was ours. So it will fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come, apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life. again shall he bore, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. And if all aim but this be proven false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation, some reclusive and religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonardo, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much into the Prince and Count Claudio, yet by mine honor, I will deal with this as secretly and as justly as my soul should with my body. Being that I flow in grief, the smallest wife may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for the strange soul strangely they stray to cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but for long. Have patience, endure.
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire
You
that.
have no reason. I do it freely.
Well, surely I do believe your fair cousin is wrong.
Oh, how much the man might deserve of me that could right her.
Is there any way to show such friendship?
Very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
There is nothing in this world I love so much as you. Is that not strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. For it were as easy for me to say there is nothing I love so well as you. And yet, believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
My sword, Beatrice. Thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear you love me, and I'll make a meeting that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your words?
With no sod that could be devised to it. I protest. I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me.
My friend, sweet Beatrice.
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
Do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that there is none left to protest.
Bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Dearest sweet
Oh, I
Beatrice.
am gone, though I am here.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is it not approved in the height of villain that has slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, God, that I were a man! Bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then, with public accusation, covered slander, unmitigated rancor! Oh, God, that I were a man! I mean, his heart in the marketplace!
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk a man in the window. Proper saying.
Hey, but Beatrice.
Hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice.
And princes and counties of princely testimony and goodly counts. Count Comfact, the sweet gallant Shirley. God, that I were a man for his sake. Not that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is only melted into curtsies and valor into compliment. And men are only turned into tongue and trim ones too. He is only confounded as Hercules, who only tells a lie and swears it. Cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore, I will tell you a woman with breathing.
Dearest Beatrice. By this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as surely as I have far soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand. So I leave you.
Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. Farewell. Is our whole assembly appeared?
Oh, stool and my cushion for the sexton. Which be the malefactors?
Mary, that am I and my partner.
Yea, we have the exhibition to examine. For which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Baraccio.
Pray, write down Baraccio. And yours, Sirach?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Pray, write down Most Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
We hope so.
Write down that they hope they serve God. And write God first, for God defend, but God should come before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you yourself?
Marry, sir, I say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come hither, Sirach, a word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are in a tale. I have you written down that they are none.
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forward. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man, sir, said that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why is this flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain?
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Oh, my mass, that is. What else, fellows?
And that Count Claudio did mean, upon his words, to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, thou villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
This is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to the Augustus, and we'll go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinion.
Let them be in the hands.
Come off, coxcomb! God's my life, where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer, coxcomb. Come, bind them now, naughty varlet.
Oh, wait! God, you are an ass! Oh, you are an ass! Out!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that you were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down yet, forget not that I am an ass. I am a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina. And a rich fellow enough go to, and one that hath had losses, and one that hath 2 gowns and everything handsome about him. Oh, bring them away. I'll let him rid down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself. And is not wisdom the second grief against yourself?
Pray thee cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, or let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a father that so loved his child, whose joy of hers overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. Measure his woe, the length and breadth of mine, and let it answer every strain for strain, as thus for thus, and such a grief for such. If such a one will smile and stroke his beard, and sorrow wag, cry, whoop, when he should grow, patch grief with proverbs, make misfortune drunk with candle wasters, bring him yet to me, and I of him will gather patience. For, brother, men can counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not feel, but tasting it, their counsel turns to passion, different. The style of gods made a push at chance and sufferance.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakst reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me hero is belied, and that shall the prince know, and so shall Claudio, and all that thus dishonor her.
Here come the prince and Count Claudio hastening.
Good day, good day, good day to both of you, my lords. We have some haste, we acknowledge. Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one. Do not quarrel with us, good old man.
And he could break himself with quarreling, some of us with my love.
Who wrongs him? Mary, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou! Hey, do not lay thy hand upon thy sword, I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my hand, if it should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Tush, tush, man, never fear with jesting me. I speak not like a dotard, nor a fool as under privilege of age to brag about what I had done being younger, what I would do were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy head that thou hast so wronged my innocent child and me, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days, do challenge thee to trial of a man. I say thou hast so wronged my innocent child, thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and now she lies buried with her ancestors. All went in tomb where scandal never slept, save this of hers framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
Oh, my lord, I will prove it on his body if he dare. Despite his nice fence and his active practice, his May of youth and his bloom of lustlyhood, away, I will not have to do with you. Canst thou so damp me? Thou hast killed my innocent child. If thou killst me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill two of us, and men indeed. But let not that matter. Let him kill one first. When and where me, sir boy? Come, sir boy. Come follow me. Sir boy, I'll whip you from your voided fence. Nay, I'm a gentleman, I will. Content yourself. God knows I love my niece, and she is dead, slandered to death by villains that dares well answer a man indeed, as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boys! Apes! Brothers! Jacks! Content yourself! What man? I know them nay, and what their way even the utmost scruple. Scambling, outfacing, fashion monging boys that lie and con, flout, degrade, and slander. Show outward hideousness. Speak 1,000 dangerous words how they may hurt their enemies if they durst. And this is all.
Oh, Brother Anthony.
No, do not meddle. Let me deal with this.
Gentlemen, both, you will not wait your patience. My heart is sad for your daughter's death, but upon my honor she was charged with nothing but what was true, and very full of proof.
My lord, I will not hear you. No? Come, brother, away. I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man you went to seek. Now, Signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Good day, Signor. You are almost come to part almost afraid.
We'd like to have our two noses snapped off for two old men without teeth.
Leonardo and his brother. Had we fought, I doubt we would have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel there is no true battle.
I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou lay thy wit by thy side? Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wit. Now I will bid thee draw, as we do the minstrels. Draw, to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale.
Art thou sick or angry?
What courage, man! What though care kills the cat, thou must meddle enough in the evil care.
I will meet your wit in the career, and you judge it against me. I pray you, choose another subject.
Hey then, bring him another staff. This last was broke cross. Why this light? Does look pale. I think he be angry indeed. He be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
I speak a word in your ear.
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I'm just not. I will make you what you dare, how you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so that I may have good cheer.
What, a feast? A feast?
In faith, I thank him. He hath bid me to a calf's head and a capon, the which if I do not carve most curiously, say my knife's not. Shall I not find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit ambles well. A goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other night. I said, thou hast a fine wit. Yea, said she, a fine little one. Nay, said I, a great wit. Yea, said she, a great gross one. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Yea, said she, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. That I believe, said she, for he swore a thing to me on Monday night, which he forswore on Tuesday morning. That's two tongues, that's a double tongue. Thus did she and I together tread shape thy particular virtues. Yet she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily and said she cared not.
Yea, that she did. But yet for all that, if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. The old man's daughter told us all.
All. And moreover, God saw him when he was hid in the garden.
So, when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yea, and text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Very well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You great jest as braggarts do blades, which God be thanked hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard hath fled Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. As for my boy Blackbeard here, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I'll warn you, for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes in his doublet nose and leaves off his wit.
He is then a giant to an ape. But that is an ape a doctor to such a man.
But stop you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother hath fled?
Come you, sir, if justice cannot tame you, she shall never weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursed hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
Why, how now? Two of my brother's men found. Ferraccio one.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offenses have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanderers. Sixth, and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee why they committed. Sixth and lastly, what lay you to their charge? And to conclude, what have they done?
Rightly reason, and in his own division, and by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Masters, what have you done that you are thus found? This learned counsel is far too cunning to be understood. Tell me, what have you done?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to my answer. Do you hear me and let this count kill me? I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confess to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the Lady Hero. How you were brought to the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I'd rather seal with my death than repeat unto my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation. And briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs this not like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
And my brother set thee unto this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
Oh, he is composed and framed of treachery and blood upon this villainy.
Oh, sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath to reform Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Master Signor Leonato and the sexton, too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Thou the slave that with thy breath hath killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
Not so, villain, thou beliest thyself.
Here stand a pair of honorable men.
Third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princess, for my daughter's death, recorded with your high and worthy deeds, 'twas bravely done if you bethink yourselves of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself, impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistake.
By my soul, nor I. And yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight he would enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live, that were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people of Messina here how innocently she died, and if your love can labor aught in sad adventure, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb, and sing it to her bones, sing it tonight. Tomorrow come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter almost a copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to us both. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, kind sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer and dispose for henceforth before Claudio.
Tomorrow morning, then, I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face the face we brought to Margaret, whom I believe was kept in all this wrong hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul, she was not. Nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always have been just and virtuous, and in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, sir, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment. And also, the watch heard them talk of one deformed. They say he wears a key in his ear and a lock hanging by it, and borrows money in God's name, the which he hath kept so long and never paid back, that now men grow hard-hearted, and will let nothing for God's sake. I pray you examine him upon that point.
I thank thee, but I care not his pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverent you, and I thank God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation!
Go! I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself, for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart. And if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come here.
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We'll wait for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'll mourn with Hero.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll speak with Margaret how her acquaintance grew with this new fellow.
Hey, Mistress Margaret. Deserve well, my dear, by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
You then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty.
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man shall come over.
We're most comely true. Thou deservest it.
Have no man come over me. Will I always be below stairs?
The wind is as quick as a greyhound's mouth, Margaret. It catches.
And yours is as blunt as the fencer's foil, which can but hurt not.
Most manly wit, Margaret. It will not hurt a woman. So I pray thee, call Beatrice. I give thee the buckler.
It is the sword, the bucklers of our own.
If you use them, Margaret, you must put the pikes in the butts. They are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you when they have legs.
They never will come.
Mimi! The God of love sits above and knows me how pitifully I deserve. Oh, yes, I mean in singing. No, I was not born under a rhyming sign, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Lady Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I call thee?
Yea, and depart when you bid me.
Sleep until then.
That is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that which I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words. And thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome, or a word kiss.
You have right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and I must hear from him shortly, or I will subscribe him a coward. And now tell me, for which of my bad parts did thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they will allow nothing good to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart, I will spite it for your sake if you spite it for mine, for I cannot love that which my friend hates.
You and I are too wise to move easily. And now tell me, about your cousin.
Very ill.
How about you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me, and thank. There will I leave you to, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. Beyond this old coil at home. It has been proved whether the hero was falsely accused. Prince Claudio mightily abused. And Don John's over it all. He is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Is this the monument of Leonato? It is, my lord. Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death, in guerdon of her wrongs, gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am done. Now music, sound, and sing your solemn hymn.
With borrow, masters, each his several way.
Come, let us hence and put on other weeds, and then to Leonato's we will go.
And Hymen now would luckier issue speeds than this for whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you she was innocent? So are the Prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the air that you were debated. But Margaret is in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears that you force small question.
Well, I'm glad all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith you forced the call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you, gentlewomen all, withdrawn to a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The Prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. And brother, you know your office. You must be father to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed confidence. Friar, I must entreat your page, I think.
To do what, signor?
To bind me, or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonardo, truth it is, good signor. Your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I, my daughter lent her, 'tis most true.
I do with an eye of love or her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, the Prince and Claudio. What's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatic. But for my will is that your goodwill may stand today with ours, to be conjoined in a state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall require your help.
My heart is with your liking, and my help. Here come the Prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry my brother's daughter?
I will hold my mind.
Call her forth. Here's the friar ready.
Why, how now, Benedict? Why for dost thou wear such a February face, so full of storm and frost and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horn with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as once Europa did at lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love. Bull Jove, sir, had an amiable love. Some strange bull left your father's cow and got a calf in the same noble feet. Much like you, for you have just his bleat. Oh, for that I owe you. But here come other ravens. Which is the lady I must seize upon? The same as she. And I will give you her. Why then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, I am your husband. You like it.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
One hero died to file, but I do live. And surely as I live, I am amazed.
The former hero. A hero that is dead.
She was dead, my lord, but whilst her splendor lived.
All this amazement can I qualify when, after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meanwhile, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Sounds a fair, friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
More than the prince and Claudio and your uncle had been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth, no. No more than reason.
Why then my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter then. You do not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it. For here's a letter written in his own hand. Oh, a halting sonnet. Fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her
meeting with friends, a show where nothing handsome about it. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world should say against it. And do not flatter me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. Now, Claudia, for thy part, I did think to have beaten thee, but since thou art like to be my kinsman, love my cousin, and live unbruised, I wouldst thou have denied Beatrice, that I might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life, to make thee a double dealer, for which out of question thou wilt be, if my cousin do not look exceedingly narrowly on thee. Come, we are friends! Let us have a dance ere we be married, so we might light our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterwards.
First of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee away, get thee away! There is no sap more reverence than one tipped with horn.
Master, your brother John has been taken in flight and brought back with armed men to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I will devise thee brave punishments. Strike up, vipers!
Here's someone right here. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. What do you think of Much Ado About Nothing?
I came for the movie, and they wouldn't tell me where it was. So I stayed.
Wait.
Hey, you got an edit button on that thing? Hey.
I'm just curious, what do you think about the RIT players staging Much Ado About Nothing?
It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's just
Good to see you, you know.
before you take pictures of me. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't deal with this thing because it was like all long and stuff. I let it grow for like 3 weeks. God damn, I gotta cut it real short. You know, like,
More up here. And then just kind of down there.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Okay. Big smile.
Hi.
It's focusing itself, right?
Yep. And hi, this is Molly. Say something. Something. Hi.
Oh,
How you doing? One more day.